At Citizen FM, we believe in progressive talk and solution-driven conversation. Our aim is to build a united Nigeria by bringing people of diverse culture together through communication. Enjoy listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. We are more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
All parties involved in the importations.
Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio culture and views with priority given.
Insights on Citizen 93.7. Well, over the past 3 decades, the Nigerian government has initiated a plethora of policies and programs which were aimed at restoring agricultural sector to its pride of place in the investments and export diversification in the sector are yet to fully appreciate. Exploitative tendencies have taken place over this year. Nigeria's sustainable living income ownership, and this is to unlock opportunities in the sector. And who do I have asked me to be? Country Director, Heifer International, Nigeria. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's a pleasure to have you
here
on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so that's how it's going to be for the next 40 minutes or thereabout. We will look at some critical. But once again, welcome. Hey, my guest is Dr. Lekan. Over 3 decades of professional experience in agriculture. He holds a doctorate in agricultural extension and rural development, and is passionate about supporting smaller farmers and other actors to increase the efficiency and productivity of the agricultural enterprise. In his current leadership for the Heifer the team, this is a very, they say, unexpected. Or to whom much is given.
Far has been good. We've received the stakeholders generally in the agriculture, what we do. So, and of course the team, with talent to have been at the fore across Africa, because Nigeria is strategic to the change that we dream about for Africa. So if we are able to achieve that change for Nigeria,
yes. I'm not talking about other stakeholders in just the government agencies now.
Well, I would say it's been good so far, especially because we to bring money, rather we come to bring support, goal. And particularly that's an attraction for us, although we've been on ground before, ground potential of women who really leveraging technology where we have impacted so far for the organization. And in Nigeria, that's just a placeholder for us, because we have the mind of actually surpassing that target, and we are on the right track to do that. It's something that has been working for us also. And we, of course, are open to do more if the right partnership come on board.
Okay, I know that there are others also.
We believe that working with INGOs that are in this, or non-profits that are in the country, because they will continue to be there. We run projects, though our approach to development is different at Heifer. We are implementing what we call the signature program, which leverages technology to drive scale through partnership. And we believe Nigeria is huge. Abuja, it's a huge strategies and our plans. The world globally, you will ask yourself how far. I believe personally, and at Heifer, that's our belief too, that we can actually do more if we do development differently. Differently meaning that we do it as with the mindset of business. Although we are not for profit, but we can still implement, drive projects and programs with the lens of business.
All right, if you're just joining us, it's Insight. My guest is Dr. Lekan Tobe. Now you can just let us know where you are writing in front of most under mechanized. Yeah. How do we solve this? What the long term and the short term?
Okay, now it's important to highlight a part of the reasoning that Heifer comes with, and I think it is the same for some of our sister organizations, that we need to close the yield gap.
Okay.
And closing the yield gap requires technology. And part of that technology is mechanization that you just mentioned. It's just part of it.
Okay.
We also are mindful of the fact that the ecosystem, there's the environment, and the household, of course. So we factor all of this mindset into deploying technology in our work. We believe that technology can help to drive the scale that we want, to drive the transformation that we want to, and help to close the yield gap, principally. And it is, especially in recent time, has continued to dwindle, because of the challenges that we face. One of which is access to input, driven by all which are working together, not taking advantage of each other, but working together to ensure that values that are derived from the value chain are equitably distributed to all. The one that suffers the most from inequity in that we drive the market so that the farmer participates equitably in the market for the goods that they produce. Agribusiness or agricultural space, you can provide other services that helps to bring value to the table. So those are the things that we are focusing on. But like you said, partnership is at the core of what we do. But the government also going beyond that of policies in Nigeria that we're where we are. We have good ideas. We have brilliant minds. People who we have policies that have been formulated because they brought brilliant minds to the table. But the implementation is always all those policies were beyond that, to formulate strategies and plans that will help to actualize those policies.
All right. One of your prominent, but before that, let's see. Hello, is that your name is?
So I just, first of all, I'm excited that agriculture is coming on the front burner these days because agriculture focus on agri-tech. Essentially, what has happened in the financial sector using Brazil, even in third worlds and mechanization, transformation in this space, and also to attract the right kind of players in the sector. Talking about the young people, for example. I'm a young school leaver. I studied agricultural extension, but if organization that and hoping for government thinking of leaving the country. So I'm just looking at how maybe the guest can, touch on how tech can play a role in the agricultural space. Thank you.
All right, David, thank you so much. I guess David was ahead of us because that was actually going to come after the...
I have not met you, but I'm so interested in what you are interested in, and I think our thoughts are greatly aligned. At HEFA, tech or agricultural technology, AgTech as it's called, is something that is very dear to us. Maybe you have heard of Ayute Challenge. Ayute Challenge is agricultural youth and technology, and that is because at HEFA we believe that leveraging innovation and youth, or technology and youth, are the two ingredients that we need to transform the agricultural space in Nigeria. And like you said, I will refer you to our website or any of our social media handles to follow what we do. Just Google Ayute or Google www.hefa.org/Ayute challenge, and you will see that it is not just the challenge, which is an act to ensure that the participants, who are mostly youth, they're just all youth, because there's an age limit. We peg the age for entries of applicants into the challenge, and we started that back in 2021 with the Africa Regional Challenge, and we have also the country challenges, the Africa Regional Challenge agricultural technology companies, and then the annual challenge with amongst youth, that are from either already graduates of agriculture or in school, or already have some startups of their own, or just ideas that they want to pitch, so that they can act. So we're doing a lot around that. Beyond the challenge also, we also do employ a lot of technology to drive what we are doing. That's why at the beginning I said we leverage technology to reach scale. Without technology you can't go to scale. Without technology, that we promote technology so that we can attract youth into the space, because we know that one of the reasons youths are not aspiring entrepreneurs or agripreneurs, as we call them, it's not attractive for them. So I don't have much to say than to say that all that you have said are very correct, and those are the things that we do at HEFA, just in Nigeria, but every country where we have presence, achieve agricultural transformation.
Okay, Dr.
Stella, I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, Stella, please go ahead.
Yes, my question is to the country director of HEFA Nigeria, and I just wanted to start agriculture. So the question I will ask is, going forward with the lessons that they may have garnered from the previous challenges, what are we looking towards seeing? What is the new thing that's going to be happening in the next IoT challenge that will be coming up soon? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you, Stella.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you in any of our projects where that are donor funded. No, it's an ongoing thing for us. So for this year, it's going to be the same. It is, that are part of the IoT program, or join the agricultural revolution in Nigeria, using technology. Those are some of the things that I will say. But for the lessons that we have learned in the past, we are always in the past. For example, we just documented all of the learnings from the last one that held this year, in June. And we hope that many more youth will come to participate in the regional IoT. Outstanding we bring them on board. We support the services that we ask them to provide, all the products that we're asking them to provide. I do not think it's right for me to start to list out those ones that are with us today, but they are there, and I'm sure some of them are listening, and they can testify in their own way, about the impact that HEFA has had on them and their businesses.
All right, yes, it's still Insight on Citizen FM 93.7. Innovations around the world that we are country director, HEFA Nigeria. That's HEFA International Nigeria. You can be part of the program. The phone lines are still open, 0903 2222 22205. Yes, we have a caller here. Let's pick this and see who is on the line. Hello, good morning.
So, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Who is on the line, please?
Yeah, my name is Raymond. I'm a livelihood practitioner. So over the years, we've learned about and hear about HEFA's work around climate change, financing, insurance. So just wanted to ask if there are any other investment that are coming around climate smart technologies that will help farmers to adopt and mitigate the effect of climate change as we move into extensive food security and production in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you. And thank you, Raymond, for that call. Yes, thank you for being aware of all of our climate-related solutions that we are providing in the space through our interventions in the index insurance space, and weather information, and of course the solar powered solutions or technologies that we are working with, to ensure that we reduce drudgery on the farm, we reduce the risk, and of course to drive resilience. There are several other climate related solutions that we are bringing on technology, and of course we're working with some youth architects in that space. We also have solution cultural practices, that more farmers can to improve their yield, or their productivity, and access to the right information.
Okay, Doctor, just a moment, please. We have another caller.
All right.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, presenter.
Good morning. Who's on the line, please?
Oladile Kolade is my name. I'm calling from Games Village.
Okay.
And it's my pleasure listening to your program this morning.
Okay.
And thank you to EPA for all that they do. And I hear Dr. today talking about some of the activities and interventions that is geared towards helping farmers to cope with climate change effect. My question is, how does EFA donor our funds? Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Kolade. I'll start with the fact that EFA is a locally led organization, though we are globally connected, as we say, because the origin of our organization is outside of the shores of Nigeria, but we are greatly focused on, we are led by stakeholders in the country, starting with the farmers themselves. And that is the basis for societies to organize themselves and become resilient and advocate for themselves. We help them to build an agency for themselves and contribute to what is going on, shaving somebody's head in their absence.
Absolutely.
But it's not just the smallholder farmers that we are building capacities. All of our partners also, we're supporting to build their capacity, especially working with private sector. We believe so much in partnership, and partnership not just with government, but private social sector, the private sector businesses that we're partnering and are able also and co-design from the beginning. So we do not come with all of the ideas, and then start to implement. No, the ideas are generated from here. For example, we look at what the government is doing, and how we can come in. We look at the issues of food security, food importation, and see which areas of those can we participate in alongside other stakeholders so that we can.
A lot of youth, same with other stakeholders trying to bring in the youth. Now, how do we move from the mentality of farming is produce, plant yam, peanut now? How do we see?
Yes, you have just touched on what the vision and the mission of Ayute is about, and you're talking about when in Nigeria, we only need trade, that is one, but not just to bring, what will attract youth to come into agriculture? It's technology. Those are the drivers of Ayute that we are promoting the agriculture. They do not know which is agriculture, which is filled with drudgery. And we see them everywhere. Youths are actually there. They're just silent. Some are open, some are saying what they do, but many of them are silent. Now, we can give several examples, but I think I'll leave that so that I don't start to share the names of their companies, what they are driving agribusiness. And of course, the aging population will continue to age, and the new ones will continue to board and to come in and blossom.
All right, it's still Insight on Citizen FM 93.7 in a bush of farming. And my guest is Dr. Lake. Minutes to wrap up the show, and the phone lines are still open. You can still squeeze in one or two calls. The numbers are 0903, WhatsApp message, and letter. Dr. Toby, I know that across the country, and there are challenges associated with that. Apart from the obvious one of insecurity, what other challenges do you encounter?
Well, access. When I say access, that reduced post-harvest loss are not there. But quality input, they're very expensive. Access to finance. It's not a fragmented operation, which makes him unattractive for the financial service providers, that he may access loans and credit for to expand or to upgrade his farm, or to use technologies that he needs to improve his productivity. He can't even access tractors, tractor services, because he has to pay. So you can imagine all of those things. In fact, the access to finance is one of the biggest part of his problem, because it will be able to produce out to the market, or the aggregator comes in.
Just a moment.
Country director. Still remains the least mechanized work across African farms continues to be done manually, through the use of human muscle. I've heard the country director speak so much about smallholder farmers, who in most cases are in need of this mechanizer, going forward as well. Thank you.
All right, Frederick, I think you came to the party rather late, but I'll allow Dr.
In the agricultural space in Nigeria or Africa-wide, we have programs around mechanization, and one of the ones that we have a project in the country, and actually for themselves problem that farmers face in accessing mechanization services for themselves. So we have that as one of the programs that we are driving, and in Nigeria over the last 1.5 or 2 years, we have supported the acquisition of 52 tractors, for in smallholder, rural smallholder.
Basically, the population, then we should do 3-4 months. A situation where we can farm throughout the year will be preferable to be able to feed our population. So my question is this: does EPA have any intervention along that line that can help farmer to be able to farm throughout the year round? Something like irrigation.
We do have, and I will encourage you to follow us on or to read more about what we do from our website, hefa.org/Nigeria, or follow any of our social media handles. We have multiple streams of income throughout the year, but we want to be able to mitigate the impact of climate, especially around flooding. Yes, to farm, preventing them from actually deriving maximum return on their investment. So we have programs around irrigation, and we're just piloting again in some states in Nigeria using solar power irrigation pumps, with smallholder farmers. So we do have that, especially for rice and tomato farmers. Yeah.
All right, Doctor, I want you to complete your thought on the challenges that you were talking about.
Yes, the challenges, those are some of the ones that I've mentioned around access to finance and infrastructure, but also not leveraging the resources that are the human resources that are available to us. You'll see that literature talks about participation of women is higher than those of the male counterpart, but the value that goes to the women is not encouraging them to actually expand. There's also the problem of land tenure in Nigeria, ownership of farmland. It is limited for women in many cultures across Nigeria. That's also hindering productivity, because if women that are not recognized, that the youth, more than 60 sector to participate as agripreneurs with dignity of labor, of course, So if we are able, if we are more intentional about organizing these farmers so that they become like an enterprise, and then introduce them to financial service providers, so the sector service products to the smallholder farmers, I think that will go a long way. Why? Because the smallholder farmers make up more activities, then we're not ready to actually commercialize agriculture.
Okay, before we go, Dr. Tube, the future doesn't look bleak, does it?
It doesn't look bleak. In fact, it is filled with good stories of success if we do the needful. And doing the needful is to be intentional and purposeful about it. We have to remove those barriers, starting with the right policies and the strategies and plans to implement its agencies. That's one. And service providers, helping them to build the right products relevant to the smallholder farmers, and of course, to have agency and advocate for themselves and be able to stand tall amongst other actors. I think we will not make any difference. It will be, as we say, doing the old thing in a different way or in the same way. We will not achieve anything new.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Lekan Tobe, Country Director of HEFA International Nigeria. Interesting edition, talking about the agri sector and with a very professional who knows what